listening to Flashpoint Radio, Rise and Shine, your morning boost of inspiration, news, and fun. With Mikey G, Lady Elise, and CoraleeKaren, the unmistakable combination, synergized to navigate.
It's like we're running in circles, going around every day, getting stuck in the hurdles of yesterday. Don't you wanna go further, away from the fray? Let's not get stuck in our worries, we'll make our own way. Won't you come outside where the sunflowers bloom? Breathe in the air, look up to the moon. I'll meet you outside, away from the crowd. Just you and me together, it will all seem better outside. Just us and the sky. Part of this circus, is it innate? Feels like a heavy burden, but I can't relate. Do our actions even matter, or is this a fate? At least now I'm feeling better, I know I'm here to stay. Won't you come outside?
It is another beautiful morning. It is themed Wellness Wednesday, and it is our hope that you prosper and be in good health. You know, there is no life that is fulfilling without health. When our health is challenged, it certainly raises concerns. It certainly makes us anxious and sometimes depressed. Good morning and welcome to the breakfast hour. Morning, Mikey G.
Good morning. I tell you, this morning we're just having a celebration on radio. We are just here doing this one this morning and giving thanks. There's a song I play that says, oh God, say yes. He says yes. Oh God, He says yes. And indeed, we must remember that no matter what's going on, God says yes. And if He says yes, nobody can say no. That's all I got to say about that this morning.
It's amazing when you put it that way, Mikey G. When God says yes,
nobody
can
say no.
Can say no, and certainly we have been reaping that award. I'm actually sharing the link, as you all should be doing as well. Mikey G, I'm certainly enjoying the program. I've been enjoying the songs you've been playing. Glacier, Robert,
Glacier. Let me say you. When I put the songs on this morning, I could feel myself lifted to a higher plane.
Yes.
So Flashpoint Radio, guys, join us every morning at 6:13 a.m. on radio. www.flashpointradio, right here in the Grand Cayman Islands. And of course, remember, when you get on the YouTube, please like, share, and subscribe. Why not? And of course, hit the like button, that bell, that notification bell, that lets you know that this program is something that you want to hear. And so it will come to you every single day. It's on demand. It's at your pleasure that you listen to the breakfast hour. You don't have to wake up at 6:30 in the morning. But if you want to hear radio, you may have to. If you want to hear those lovely songs that we play in the mornings, and that piece of, that spirit-filled connection that we do, So yeah, you want to do that. Of course, our devotional comes up next when we come back.
Looking to build your dream home or renovate your space? M&M Construction is the perfect place. We bring your vision to life with precision and quality craftsmanship. From design to construction, we guide you every step, ensuring seamless coordination and superior results. Our professional roof inspection and maintenance services will ensure that your roof is sturdy this hurricane season. So, if you are ready to start your construction journey, call us today at 345-927-7509. Build with confidence. Build with M&M Construction. 345-927-7509.
Good morning. This is day 19. Let us not grow weary while doing good, for in due season we shall reap if we do not lose heart. Galatians chapter 6 verse 9. Riding a roller coaster, written by Anne Setas. If you love someone who struggles with a substance abuse problem, you know that your emotions and his can be like riding a roller coaster, up and down. Today, he wants help. Tomorrow, he's drinking or is high on drugs again. Today, she's being honest. Tomorrow, she's running from the truth. The Holy Spirit helps us learn how to love people like that, even in their sins and struggles. Here are a few principles that we can put into practice. 1. Treat the person with respect. Be gentle when trying to restore him, but don't do for him what he should do for himself. Don't get in the way of the consequences that God can use to bring change. 2. Remember that you do not have the power to change another person. Instead, ask God to help you become the person He wants you to be. 3. Reach out in love. Seek God's wisdom in what to say and do in each encounter, then rebuke or be silent in love. 4. Depend on God. You will make mistakes, but anchor yourself in God's word and continually commit yourself and your loved one to the Lord in prayer. Make some of these choices, and in doing so, you can help to slow down the roller coaster ride of changing emotions. Love is an attitude. Love is a prayer. It's a prayer for someone in sorrow, a heart in despair. Love is goodwill for the gain of another. Love suffers long with the fault of a brother. Our quote this morning reads, "Love helps people even when it hurts." End quote.
I'm Audley Scott, and you're listening to Flashpoint Radio, Rise and Shine, your morning boost of inspiration, news, and fun, with Mikey G, Lady Elise, and CoraleeKaren, the unmistakable combination, synergized to navigate.
It is Wellness Wednesday. Love, love, love. It helps persons even when it hurts. And of course, that's a powerful devotional. And it's so interesting because the Sabbath School lesson this week, and if you're not a Seventh-day Adventist, you can access the Sabbath School lesson online, which is actually a Bible study guide. And of course, this week, the study is the greatest commandment. And so
what is the greatest commandment?
I mean, you got to delve deep in the Word of God, but God implores us to love our neighbor as we love ourselves.
Yes.
And certainly, when we treat our neighbors badly, perhaps we don't have that sort of love that we ought to have. And the challenges are many because as we look around ourselves, sometimes we are tempted. I'm telling you, if you're busily going to work, Mikey G, and as a devotional mentioned, it was speaking specifically to those persons who have issues with substance abuse. And the theme or the topic of the devotional said, riding a roller coaster. So sometimes it's up and sometimes it's down, and sometimes these persons keep making the same mistakes again and again. And so it's not of our own will for us to love and show love, Mikey G, but God has to help us.
See, God has to help us to show that very love that we should be able to do so easily.
Yes,
Mercy.
because it's so easy. I'm telling you, imagine you're rushing to work or you're rushing to studio, Mikey G. In the case you have to get to the breakfast hour at 6:30, and there comes this man at your window begging you money. He begged you yesterday, he begged you the day before,
and he's going to beg you this morning.
I need some money for some breakfast, and you're like, go work. I'm going to work, go work and earn your money. He is what we consider, what's the word? He's bothering you. The natural tendency
is to say, no, go get a job.
You have to draw the line someplace. That's a natural tendency. But the devotional is calling us to love, not just the devotional. God is calling us to love even the indigent, those ones who are annoying you, those ones who keep going back to the sinful lifestyle, substance abuse we are called upon. That's
it feels bad sometimes, that when sometimes people are there just annoying you, begging you, and carrying on. Sometimes we never stop to say that we could be in the very same position as that person. And sometimes we don't know what ails the individual, even though they may look strong. There may be something that causes them not to be able to do the things that would allow them to survive. Or if they do too much of it, it might just cause, I don't know. It takes a lot of strength sometimes to actually ask someone for something. But then just to think about it, some people make a career out of it.
May the Lord help us. That's all I have to say, because
and so the good is suffering for the bad. I don't know. The challenges are indeed
real. I want to say good morning to our listeners on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram.
And of course, those on www.flashpointradiomedia.ky. And this morning, of course, it's Wellness Wednesday, Elise. And of course, Dr. K is ready to go. And let's see if we can go to a break. And when we come back, we can do that.
When you need ultrasound that's safe and effective, you must visit Asai Ultrasound Imaging. They're conveniently located at number 4 Chestnut Center, Smith Road, Georgetown, Cayman Islands. With experienced technologists with over 20 years experience, their friendly staff will make you comfortable while you get your procedure done. Asai Ultrasound Imaging is open Mondays to Fridays, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Saturdays. Call Asai Ultrasound Imaging 345-949-2454 or 345-938-3426. That's 345-949-2454 or 345-938-3426.
I'm Audley Scott, and you're listening to Flashpoint Radio, Rise and Shine, your morning boost of inspiration, news, and fun. With Mikey G, Lady Elise, and CoraleeKaren, the unmistakable combination, synergized to navigate.
Welcome back, welcome back. It's Wellness Wednesday, and of course, our physician is ready to check our pulse, our heart, our head, our eye, our liver, our kidney, everything. Morning, Dr. K. How are you doing?
Good morning, Lady Elise. Good morning, Mikey G. I'm doing good this morning. Thank you.
Well, I want to add my quota of welcome and good morning to you also, Dr. K. It's Wellness Wednesday. And of course, last week, we talked a little bit about the kidneys last week. And I'm thinking, I'm not sure exactly what. Maybe you're going to do a follow-up. But it was an exciting and, of course, well done presentation last week. The listeners, we got so many calls. People benefited from it. They enjoyed it. And of course, they were like more aware. One person said to me, I listened to it so keenly because I do suffer from some of these things. So this morning is Wellness Wednesday. And today we are about to learn some more about our body and our health. And of course, today I'm going to be quiet.
Can you do that?
Yes. So what happens is that last week we spoke about one aspect of kidney disease, and we spoke about kidney stones and how different types of stones and how stones are managed and the symptoms. Today we're just going to continue part 2 with talking about kidney failure, damage to the kidneys. Actually, this month is Multiple Sclerosis Month, Awareness Month. So next week we're going to be talking about multiple sclerosis. Okay? But today, before I even go into the topic, I was listening to Just Before You Go to Bed last night.
Let me correct you, Dr. K, as Connie J.E. would. Did you say just before you go to your bed? Just before you go to your bed?
Just before you go to your bed.
God, you know what it is? See, there it is. Well, we'll try again.
Your bed.
The word is not go to your bed, even though it's one of the pronunciation of the Jamaican vernacular, how we do it. But this one is ga. Not
Ga
go
your bed.
but ga. So
Right,
just
that one.
before you ga your bed, and so I had to be corrected many times also by Connie J.E. about that.
Anyway,
So
Dr. K.
your psychologist, Pastor Connor, was saying that a lot of times patients go to the doctor
Yes.
and they hardly ever check their mental health. But in my neck of the woods, a PHQ-9, which is checking for depression and your mental health, is done every time. Annually, including children. I take my children to the pediatrician and they have to do that, complete that form every year. So annually, yes, I suppose it's probably not practiced everywhere, but it's a requirement to do an annual mental health exam. And it's just a form that you fill out. It's called PHQ-9, checking to see Are you feeling depressed? Are you sleeping? Are you feeling hopeless? Have you ever thought of doing anything to yourself? You know, they're just questions that it's a screening test, and we pick up the people who are depressed a lot of
I don't
times
want to put
with
up my
that
hand,
form.
Dr. K. I don't want to put up my
Can
hand
I
in this
do the
one.
test myself? It's online, page Q9. Can
Yes,
I?
you can do it yourself. You can.
Okay.
You saw it?
Yes, I see. I'm actually looking at it.
Exactly.
Yeah,
PHQ9. Yeah. It's
patient
done
health
every, yeah, it's a
questionnaire. Yeah,
universal thing. It's online. You
yes.
answer that question and you get a score, and it will tell you if you have mild, moderate, or severe
But
depression.
is it a natural, is it a general test that when you go to the doctor as a regular physician to just get to just be checked up by your to see if this is one of the tests, these are one of the tests that is done, and that just a regular test for a regular person.
Okay, so
This
it's
is
not a test
pediatrician.
that
You
is
mentioned the
done
kids. You
every
mentioned the
time you
kids
go
a
to
while
the
ago, so I'm
doctor.
saying for an adult.
Yeah, but it's not a test that's done every time you go to the doctor. But when you visit your doctor annually, so if you go 3 times for the year, they're not going to be doing it 3 times for the year. But once a year, it's going to be done. They're going to be looking and saying, oh, she hasn't done a PHQ9 form. So they're going to be doing it just for mental assessment.
For your information, for our information, Doc, was this something done like in the Caribbean countries, or this is just something done in the U.S.? Is it something done all over?
Actually, working in the Caribbean, I was not exposed to it.
So maybe not so much
It
something
wasn't
that
something
is, yeah.
probably in mental health, probably in the mental health, but not on a regular basis. But then remember, I worked in the hospital. But even when I did private practice, I wasn't doing it. But most of the time, I worked in the hospital. And of course, when you come into the hospital and tell me that your head is hurting you, I'm going to treat your head, or you have abdominal pain or chest pain. Um, unless I don't find anything wrong, then I'm going to say, is it something mental?
So
But the first thing I'm going to go towards, I'm not going to check your mental health before I check your physical health.
wow, and just to
It's
say,
when your physical health is not adding up, then we say, this sounds like mental health.
mental health issues. Well, here
Yeah,
is
so that
something.
was a good awareness to say that, we're not really checking. And even though you're coming in, you're seeing your private care practitioner, and that's your family doctor. Your family doctor should every year do your mental health assessment, because people are going through a lot, and a lot of times, you can just treat their physical condition because it stemmed from their mental condition. Yeah, so that was an awesome presentation last night. Very, very good. Very,
It brings
very,
an
very good
awareness to us,
presentation.
Doc, that you mentioned it this morning. And when I heard it last night, I said, that's something that I really never really, I've never been asked one time in my life about my mental health. And mind you, I've not been so many times to the doctor. So maybe because I am one of those persons who are very few in numbers, the visitation to the doctor. Maybe that's the reason for my not knowing. I'm not
And
sure.
confession is good for the soul, but not good for the
All
character.
right,
Let
so
me
I'll be
just
sure not to
declare that.
share too many of those confessions. So later on, Doc.
Okay,
Having said that,
so today,
yes.
we're going to be talking about kidney disease. So we spoke a little bit about the kidneys, just a little bit of review. So we have two kidneys, and basically what the function of the kidney is that it filters toxins from the body. Okay, so it filters waste, toxins, and extra water from the blood. So if you drink a lot of water, don't worry, your kidneys are going to get rid of it. Okay, and then it also filters waste stuff. So the things that we do, which is not necessary, the waste and the toxins are filtered by your kidney. They have other functions though, because the kidneys produce erythropoietin, which is a hormone that is responsible for red blood cells production, right? And they actually help in bone health, okay, with absorption of converting the 2 to D3, D3 to D2 in the kidneys. So there are a number of things that can happen. That the function of the kidney. The kidney is very instrumental in a lot of things. If you notice, people who have kidney problems or have kidney failure will tend to be anemic because they're not producing the hormone that will help with the production of red blood cells, and they will also have bone disease because the kidneys help with bone health. We can live with one kidney, but of course we have two. And if the one kidney is healthy, we can live with one kidney. But ideally, it's better to have two because if one is damaged, then you have another one that will back up, right? Now we have different stages of kidney disease. So when you go to your doctor will do your labs and they will do your complete metabolic profile and they will look at your urea, creatinine, your protein, your glomerular filtration rate. And those are things will tell you the health of your kidneys. So if your glomerular filtration rate we want it to be greater than 90. Young healthy persons, it's 120, it's way over 100, but we want it to be greater than 90. And so depending on the glomerular filtration rate, just think about a strainer. And the strainer, when it was new, it was keeping everything in. Okay? So when you put your particles in and you're straining your juice, it's all staying in. Okay? But by the time the strainer gets a little worn, probably has some bigger holes in there. So things are dropping through and it's not working much anymore. Of course, you can throw away your strainer, but you can't throw away your kidneys, right? So you want your kidneys to be functional as much as possible. So after a while, your filtration rate, it means that is what is being filtered. It's not going to be good. So your GFR, your glomerular filtration rate, is going to decrease, and it can decrease all the way down to zero. Now, if you're not filtering, that means that your kidneys are not working. This can actually lead to death, okay? Because you have to get rid of those waste and toxins in your body. It's a must. That's how God made you. You produce waste and toxins just by your metabolic processes. It's not just by what you eat and what you're taking, just by you metabolizing the food that you eat or the oxygen that you breathe or even just what you take in your body. The air that you're taking has to be filtered. And now with this way where things are so polluted and we take all of those things in, we have to get rid of it. Not to mention the drugs that we take in our system has to be filtered. So all the drugs that we take go into your liver or your kidney, metabolized the metabolized, the products that are not wanted are
excreted,
filtered out and gotten rid of as waste. So how common is actually kidney disease? And we can say that it's very common, right? In fact, statistics from the United States say that about 15% of the population have chronic kidney disease. And there are about 37 million people who are living with chronic kidney disease. And this is only in the United States. Now, what are the symptoms of kidney disease? So you either want to pee more or pee less. Okay? You're tired, you're fatigued, you have loss of appetite, you have swelling of your hands and your feet, and you know the swelling, as I said to you, that your kidneys actually get rid of water from your body. So if your kidneys are not filtering and decreasing or getting rid of excess water, you're going to be retaining. So you're going to be having swelling of the hands and feet. Then there could be shortness of breath, puffy eyes, there could be itching, and the itching is because we're not filtering the waste products like creatinine, urea build up in the body. And as a result of that, you can get that itching, can get nausea and vomiting, muscle cramps, darkening of the skin, and also high blood pressure. Now, we have to understand that the kidneys, you have the blood flow into the kidneys. So anything that causes atherosclerosis can decrease the blood flow to the kidneys and actually cause kidney damage. Okay, so you have things that can cause damage to the kidneys, like infections, like toxins, but you have diabetes, high blood pressure, anything that can cause decreased blood flow can cause decreased blood flow to the kidneys. And you've heard of young people who basically they didn't know that they have high blood pressure, or they had high blood pressure but wasn't taking care of it, and the next thing you know is that they are going to kidney failure. It damages their kidney to the point where their kidneys start to fail and they end up having dialysis. And that's important because we need to take care of the kidneys that we have. So we need to make sure we maintain a good blood pressure, make sure we maintain our diabetes, and also even NSAIDs, your Voltaren, your what other Aleve. Those are some things that can in excess can damage the kidneys. Okay, so your non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs can actually damage. Ibuprofen can actually damage your kidneys if taken over a long period or in excess. So smoking can damage your kidneys. And so there are other things that you're born with that you can do nothing about. People have a genetic predisposition to polycystic disease, polycystic kidney disease, which is usually hereditary, and that can actually cause damage to your kidneys. There are other things that they can have, but if we can actually, our lifestyle, what we do can actually take care of our kidneys, then we need to make sure that we take care of our kidneys. Remember, there are infections. Remember, sometimes the kidneys can have damage, which could be temporary. We can have acute kidney failure. For example, patients who have heart disease or heart failure, liver disease, and they get so sick, and even those who have sepsis can actually go into chronic acute kidney failure. But with treatment, that those are reversible. But it's chronic kidney failure. It's over time, the progressive damaging of your kidneys over time to the point that your kidneys fail. And when your kidneys fail, we only have two, and if both of them fail, then you have to get an external device to filter the waste from your body, and that is where dialysis comes in. And that puts a lot of strain on your body. So there are two types of dialysis. We have the hemodialysis, where you have to go to the hospital and you have to be hooked up to the dialysis machine, spend a few hours to drain out your blood, to get the dialysis to clean it and put it back. And then you have the peritoneal dialysis, where you can do that yourself. The machine is at home and you are attached to the machine. You wash out your kidneys basically and put it back in. So, and the other thing to treat it is getting a kidney transplant. But the thing about it is that we want to make sure that we have healthy kidneys. Hydrate. Hydrate as much as possible. That means you drink a lot of water. If you have diabetes, control your diabetes. If you have high blood pressure, control your high blood pressure. If you smoke, stop smoking. Okay? And if you're using drugs that have harmful effects on the kidney, use them in doses that will not harm your kidneys. Okay? Remember that there are a number of complications of kidney disease. We can get brittle bones, weak and brittle bones, anemia, okay, because we're not producing those red blood cells. We can get imbalance, so you get cramping in your muscles because, of course, you're not maintaining the homeostasis of your blood in terms of your pH and the electrolytes. It's really the electrolytes that you're not maintaining. You can get nerve damage. You can get high potassium. I remember one time there's this gentleman who came into the hospital. I'm not sure what was causing him, but he couldn't walk. Young guy, 20 something, he couldn't walk. When we did his electrolytes, his potassium was so low.
Wow.
And just by giving him potassium, he was walking the next day.
Again. A while ago when you talked about smoking, Dr. K, I couldn't see where smoking and my kidneys went in the same place. I could not see it, and I thought about it a little bit. And while you're talking and you're explaining away, my mind went there. Sometimes we don't see the connections between our health and some of the bad habits that we have, even though we know that it will cause serious issues. Some persons will say, I don't care, I'm going to do what I like because something is going to kill us anyhow. This is a common statement that many persons use and carelessly do it. Maybe at some point, even myself would have probably made such a statement that no, I'm looking back at it and I'm saying, when you have to live a longer life, you would want to live a healthier life while living longer. If you plan to live a short life, then I guess this is not something that is of concern to someone who don't plan to live past maybe 25, 26, or 30. But if you plan to live past that, then you may want to concern yourself with some of these.
And we have to understand that smoking weakens our immune system. It does. It weakens our immune system, and that is why it puts us at risk for so many things because of the weakness of our immune system. We need our immune system to protect us from many things, to protect us from infections, to protect us from oxidative exposure, free radicals, and a number of other things. It's our immune system that's our first line of defense when it comes on to stuff that our bodies are exposed to.
So you're saying a constant beefing up of our immune system, a constant reinforcing of it will allow us to experience a healthier life.
Exactly, and that is why we talk about exercise, because exercise, it builds up your immune system. We talk about our diet, what we eat. We talk about drinking water. We talk about being exposed to the sun, vitamin D. We talked about all those things, and these things are important. And even our stress factor, because remember, being stressed actually decreases our immune system, impacts our immune system. Sleeping. So it goes back to
guilty as charged for sleeping. I don't sleep. I don't think I sleep enough. It goes back to
the same factors. Doesn't matter where we go and which part of our bodies we talk about. It goes back to the same principles, the fundamental principles of health.
Fresh air.
And it's amazing. Everything goes back to the fundamental principles of health in terms of how we take care of our bodies, maintaining a healthy weight, exercising, or diet. It's just, it's like a broken record. Regardless of what topic we talk about, we go back to the same thing. If we talk about our eyes, we talk about our brain, we talk about our heart, talk about our liver, we talk about everything, and we go back to
being very
a lot of the
honest.
things that we do. It's amazing. It's amazing. But our kidneys are really, really important to us, and we have to try to maintain them. There's things that we being black is a risk factor for getting kidney disease. We know that. Being over 60, having a family history is a risk factor. High blood pressure, diabetes, it's just what it is.
I don't even want to ask you what being black mean, to give me kidney issues. I don't even want to explore it because I don't understand. Already, I don't understand it. Just thinking about the color of my skin, I am now going to
It's not
be
just the
higher.
color of the skin, it's the genetics that you have, your genetic predisposition.
So, okay. I'm not going to comment or ask any more questions along the line, Doc. Trust me. My mind just went off scale a while ago to a different place. I'm off the range already. I think Dr. O'Connor might have to do a mental checkup on Mikey G somewhere along the line.
Is that next week we're going to be talking about multiple sclerosis. And multiple sclerosis is not exactly a black man disease, but black people do have it.
Okay.
So there are diseases that are more common in our population, and that's why we talk about those diseases, because they're more common in the population that we exist. In our ethnicity and in our neck of the woods, these conditions are a lot more common. So we have to talk about the things, diabetes and the high blood pressure. Not that other people don't have it, but black people are plagued with more hypertension and diabetes. Just what it is. It's just what it is. And because of that, we get the complications of those diseases, which include our heart disease and our strokes and our kidney disease.
For those who are just joining us, of course, it's Wellness Wednesdays right here on Flashpoint. Of course, Dr. K is in-house this morning telling us so much about our kidneys, our health, and the wealth that we sometimes squander by not paying attention to it. You know, Doc, it has been a lot of time spent talking about the health of the human body and how important it is. And of course, we are here to reinforce this message that someone might hear. And as the Bible would say, he that hath ear, let him hear. And so this is how we want to just make it a prominent, teachers would say when they're trying to reinforce a conversation to a student or students, they says, remember, you do not get perfect by doing the thing over and over again, but it makes it permanent. Repetition deepens impressions. And so these are metaphorical terms and terminologies that may be well served at a time like this when our health is so important to us. Dr. K, I want to thank you this morning. If there is anything else you want to add to us and tell our listeners this morning, please do at this time.
Just join me next week for a talk on multiple sclerosis.
All right, guys. Lady Elise, I don't hear a word out of you. You're just there taking all the information. I think it's time for Lady Elise. Lady Elise, please say something.
Thank you so much, Dr. K. I certainly have taken all the information in, and that's why I was quiet, because I'm busy taking in, absorbing the information, and certainly making the necessary changes in my life.
So quickly, she has been converted. All right, guys, when we come back,
when you need ultrasound that's safe and effective, you must visit Asai Ultrasound Imaging. They're conveniently located at number 4 Chestnut Center, Smith Road, Georgetown, Cayman Islands. With experienced technologists with over 20 years experience, their friendly staff will make you comfortable while you get your procedure done. Asai Ultrasound Imaging is open Mondays to Fridays, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Saturdays. Call Asai Ultrasound Imaging 345-949-2454 or 345-938-3426. That's 345-949-2454 or 345-938-3426.
You ever never hear earthquake call and say, "Hello, Miss Lee, yes, it's me, earthquake, I coming Tuesday around 10. No, sir. Earthquake does arrive unannounced, and when it come, it shake all sense and sensibility out of we. Remain calm, stay inside, and do the DCH. Drop, cover, hold on. Once the shaking starts, you know it's earthquake. Make a quick move to a safe place. Don't go to the doorway or any exit. Stairs might block up or full of people. Elevator, avoid that because you might get in and poof, power gone, and you're stuck in that box without ear. Take cover under a strong table or a bed, or crouch against an inside wall or in a corner, and cover your face and your head with your arms. Remember, DCH, drop, cover, hold on. Glass windows and doors, outside walls and doors in an earthquake, bad news. Take for yourself. Most injuries during earthquakes happen when something drop and hit people entering or exiting a building. Last thing, don't want to run outside and ask, you feel it, you feel it? Remain calm, stay indoors until all the shaking stop, and do the DCH, drop, cover, hold on.
I'm Audley Scott, and you're listening to Flashpoint Radio, Rise and Shine. Your
Open
morning
your microphone,
boost
Ellie,
of inspiration, news and fun. With Mikey G, Lady Elise, and CoraleeKaren. Unmistakable combination, synergized to navigate.
Welcome back. It's breakfast hour time, and certainly we have received a wealth of information. Of course, Dr. K, who is a physician with many years of experience, she's board certified. She has taken time out of her busy schedule to share with us each and every Wednesday some crucial tips. And let us just hold these tips and try to not look back in regret to say, I wish I'd taken care of my kidneys. I wish I had visited a physician. I wish I'd made those lifestyle changes that I need to make, because then when you're stuck with going to dialysis and then you're waiting for a transplant, then it's another situation. So certainly, if you're at the stage where you have no issues with your kidneys, say thank you and take care of them. Let's take care of our health. We certainly want to thank Dr. K for spending each and every week share with us. Next week it's going to be about multiple sclerosis. And so if you don't know about that disease and if you have questions, please share them with us. You can send us a message on 345-321-6969. That number is on WhatsApp. I have the phone with me. It's 345-321-6969.
Having said that, Lady Elise, of course, it's time for news. What a topic this morning. You know, just to think about it, just before we get to our news, I just wanted to add, you know, that I would have probably made some real foolish decisions of not drinking enough water, or probably not exercising at some point. And somebody who's used to exercising all the time stop exercising. And then we have so many persons who love the air condition so much that we don't want to get outside to get some fresh air.
You know, we try to do the minimum then, you know, I mean, instead of walking across the road, we choose to drive across the road.
I was listening to
so
someone.
I am guilty sometimes, and I know the benefits. And then it's so hard to reverse these conditions when you do have them. Sometimes it's irreversible.
I have a conversation yesterday where the gentleman was saying, you know, I'm listening to it. He says, you know, when you think about all the things that happens to you, if somebody should hold your throat or hold your neck or even squeeze your neck, you know, your body will die in minutes just by not having oxygen, right? If you are not exposed, but water may take a little longer, you know. And then he explained that by not adding enough water, it might not kill you immediately. It's like the same thing when it says, when you eat off the day you eat off the fruit, you shall not surely die. And then when Eve eat the fruit, she see that she didn't die. She said, "See, dear God, you lie," you know. But then the reasoning behind it is this, and I want us to have a personal idea of a biblical principle of what we're talking about, even if it sounds far-fetched, how close we are to it. But if you starve yourself from water, then it gives you less time. But here comes food. You don't eat. and so on. But then it says it gives less time. So it mimics the idea that you are not having a problem, but it takes longer to kill you. But here's exercise for you. If you don't do exercise, it may not take weeks, months, or even a year. It may take a little bit more than that, but at some point, those muscles will die and you won't have the use of them. And so it is so important that while the thing is not going to hurt you right now, pay attention to it, because down the road, accumulation, like Dr. K just said a while ago, of these bad habits will definitely put us in a state of disrepair, or you're unable to repair yourself. Words to the wise, and I'm going to take it for myself first. Of course, news comes up, Lady Elise, and of course, our Lady CoraleeKaren this morning, our news anchor. When we come back, you're tuned to the breakfast hour right here on Flashpoint Radio.
Good morning. It is Wednesday, March 19th, and these are the news headlines on Flashpoint Radio. I'm CoraleeKaren. Election monitors sought for 30th April polls. Governor Jane Owen is inviting individuals to apply to serve as election and referendum observers for the upcoming 30th April polls. Observers will monitor campaign activities, polling, and vote counting, providing objective reports to highlight good practices and areas for improvement. The Cayman Islands began local government observations in 2009, complementing international observer missions led by the UK's Commonwealth Parliamentary Association. Governor Owen emphasized the importance of safeguarding democratic processes and encouraged Caymanians to participate in ensuring free and fair elections. Key takeaways from prospect candidates debate. Monday night saw a heated debate among the three main political parties: the People's Progressive Movement, the Cayman Islands National Party, and the Caymanian Community Party. Notably, there were no independent candidates this time. Incumbent Sabrina Turner faced off against Michael Miles, whom she narrowly defeated in the 2021 general elections. First-time candidate Crystal Gomez Wilson, battling illness, held her ground throughout the debate. Topics ranged from landfill issues and cruise tourism to healthcare, pensions, and traffic concerns. More than 200 objections to 32 million apartment block in West Bay. A proposed $32 million luxury apartment complex in West Bay is facing strong opposition. Over 200 objections have been filed against the residences, a 12-unit development near the four-way stop at Heritage Square. Critics, including residents and business owners, have raised concerns about potential environmental and community impact. The project is currently under review by the National Conservation Council due to possible effects on local turtle nesting sites and the nearby marine protected area. Hackers and cyber gangs pose a national security threat to Cayman. Admiral Mike Rogers, former head of the U.S. National Security Agency, has warned that cyber threats to the Cayman Islands are escalating. Speaking at the RF Cayman Economic Outlook Conference, he highlighted growing risks from criminal gangs and hostile nations such as China and North Korea. With Cayman being a global financial hub, Rogers stressed the importance of enhanced cybersecurity measures, noting that even ordinary citizens using smartphones are vulnerable to sophisticated attacks. ADHD Island. Rising medication use among Caymanian children. Doctors and educators are voicing concerns over the increasing number of Cayman Islands children being prescribed ADHD medication. Chief Medical Officer Dr. Nick Gent warned of overprescription, suggesting that some children need more exercise and attention rather than medication. Some school leaders echoed his concerns, emphasizing that good teaching and classroom management should not be replaced by medication as a first solution. And now to regional news. Jamaica's 2025-26 budget deemed credible by Independent Fiscal Commission. The Independent Fiscal Commission has assessed Jamaica's 2025-26 budget as credible, citing sustainable macroeconomic and fiscal policies. Commissioner Courtney Williams stressed the need to maintain strong fiscal discipline to support broader economic stability. Speaking at the IFC's first press conference, Williams highlighted the importance of responsible fiscal management, noting that a stable budget is key to national economic success. In Grenada, former PM Keith Mitchell collapses. PM calls for prayers. Former Grenadian Prime Minister Dr. Keith Mitchell collapsed during a public event at Happy Hill Secondary School. Prime Minister Dickon Mitchell has asked the nation to keep him in their prayers. No official update on Dr. Mitchell's condition has been released. The Office of the Prime Minister has extended its best wishes for his recovery. Honduras plane crash kills 12, including renowned Carifuna musician. A small commercial plane crashed off the coast of Honduras, killing 12 people, including acclaimed Carifuna musician Aurelio Martinez Suarzo. The LASA Airlines flight en route to Roatan to La Ceiba failed to reach full altitude and sank into the sea. 5 survivors were rescued, including Martinez Suarzo's French representative. Authorities are investigating the cause of the crash. In Bahamas, Western Air flights disrupted by Nassau runway closure. Western Air has reported significant delays due to the ongoing closure of runway 1232 at Linden Pending International Airport in Nassau. The airline cited extended ground times and congestion affecting their flight schedules. Flights between Freeport and Nassau, which typically takes 35 minutes, are now averaging up to 1 hour and 30 minutes. Some flights have even been diverted due to long wait times for landing clearance. Those were your news headlines on Flashpoint Radio. Please continue to stay tuned for more updates throughout the day.
When you need ultrasound that's safe and effective, you must visit Asai Ultrasound Imaging. They're conveniently located at number 4 Chestnut Center, Smith Road, Georgetown, Cayman Islands. With experienced technologists with over 20 years experience, their friendly staff will make you comfortable while you get your procedure done. Asai Ultrasound Imaging is open Mondays to Fridays, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Saturdays. Call Asai Ultrasound Imaging 345-949-2454 or 345-938-3426. That's 345-949-2454 or 345-938-3426.
to the breakfast hour. A lot happening in the news. We want to thank CoraleeKaren for the able way in which she has presented these talking points, these news items to us this morning. A lot heating up here on the political landscape. And of course, something that we have been, I want to use the word, we have been alerted about is the amount of scams online. And of course, Flashpoint team, we went ahead and we got a professional, someone immersed with many years of experience who graced our studio and presented on ways to protect your personal information, things you should never do, things you should change, virtual protection network, several things were explored right here. And now I just heard in the news, Mikey G, and I'm not sure if you heard as well, certainly there's an alarm about the amount of persons that have been affected. And, you know, the thing
Crazy
about
right now.
these, yeah,
Crazy.
you know, and so we have to be deliberate in sharing bits and pieces of that presentation so that our listeners, if one person is impacted, if one person will spread the news or share, you know, how to stay safe online, then it will certainly save us
It's
a
not
lot
just
of
online.
headaches.
Well, online is one thing that person might say it's the internet, but they have regular telephone calls that come in and
Yes.
will tell you that you are now qualified for some very interesting thing based on your demographic, where you are, and of course, you know, your status. And so it just automatically qualifies you. And for persons who are interested in getting stuff,
Yes.
you will stay and listen longer. Me, I just turn off the phone because I know I'm not qualified for anything that anybody giving me, and I didn't work for it. So
Listen, and you know, you did not purchase a ticket. You did
Nope.
not do that.
No.
You know,
you have to
so
take
listen,
more.
guys.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm not going to get it. Even if it's real, I'm not going to get it because I'm not sticking around for it. I don't want to hear, I don't want to know, and please stop. So that's it.
So, of course, I just encourage you guys, or encourage us all to stay safe, and do what we need to take care of our health and our internet health as well. All the aspects of our health, our online health is important. And so as we prepare to get out of studio, we must share a few things that are on our notice board, Mikey G.
Community notice board is up, guys. Please, if you have your events or you have your special moments or days that you want to celebrate, please send us send us the information and let us help you do those presentations. Alright, what do we have first? Karaoke night right here at Flashpoint. Guys, come out and sing your heart out and enjoy some nice time right at Flashpoint Studios right in the Grand Cayman Islands. Alright, so tell us about it a little more, Lady Elise.
I mean, it's just a place for you to relax and hang out. I was speaking with a friend, and the first question I asked is, "Can you sing?"
Can you sing?
He says no. I said, "Well, karaoke
Is for you. Yeah, that's you. If you can't sing, karaoke is for you.
So, and we'll have games and just a chance for you to relax, and it's free. And hopefully we can have a cake that says 1,000 subscribers strong.
Well, I'm sorry. It's now 1,000.6 something. I don't know if it's 6-7 now, but it's growing like a weed. I don't know, man. It just. I want to give God thanks for so much and so much more for our peeps all over the world, all over the Grand K and the rest of the world this morning.
Of course.
Big up yourself. USA, all my US friends there. Big up on yourself. Yes, alright. All my Caribbean peeps. Big up on yourself. Sorry, my Jamaican vernacular. Just keep jumping out. Big up yourself. Uno is the Jamaican word for your. Uno. Your. Alright, fish fry comes up next, of course, on Sunday. Flashpoint fish fry. Come on, Flashpoint doing too many things this time around. What's going on with that? Let's tell us a little more about the fish fry coming up, please. Guys, if you don't even live in the Cayman Islands, buy a fish. Yeah, support the thing. Yeah.
Yes, we're gonna have the
Guys, celebration fish meal, you know. That's
yes, so that you can virtually
yeah.
be a part of this fish fry venture. And of course, we must share something that you want to participate
Mission
in.
trip to Belize,
Yes.
guys. Come on.
Yeah, $1,500, and this includes
That is not a lot of money, please, for this
Oh,
trip.
that's
And what it's going to cover, it's going to be an exciting thing to do. Yeah, of course, Ella Pensley Smith, I think, is one of the organizers or responsible for some of the promotional parts of this thing. I guess we'll be talking to him at some point about this trip. So we await that interview, that conversation that we will have at Flashpoint. And expose this very interesting trip. Yes.
Of course, coming up, we have a lot happening this weekend. Look out for our Grand Revival Bible study.
And the CoraleeKaren again.
Yes.
All right. So hold on. So we did not share. We wanted to share also the ambassador walk run. Yes.
Yes.
We're supposed to share that one as well. Yeah. Let me see if we can get it somewhere along the line. So we are doing a walk run with the ambassador, and I'm unable to. Let's go. I'm trying. All right. Let's see if we can grab that one. I'm thinking that we're not thinking we are getting. All right. Here we go. All right. Fine. All right. Ambassador. Yes. Here is ambassador. We are having a run walk for life 5K 2025. Yeah. All right, so that comes up on April 27th, and it's a 7 a.m. event. It begins at 7 a.m. and of course $25 for the entry fee. That includes a few things like a T-shirt and probably help to pay for some of the medals that you might get. It might be a little thing that somebody might say, "But me don't want to pay for the medal there."
But I will, tomorrow I will have the ASI flyer up as well for our 5K as well. You know what I love about Flashpoint is that we have certainly gone beyond borders. We are not restricted to any locality, and certainly we want to share. We want to make this family a big, happy family where I care about what you are doing, no matter where you are. If you are in the UK, in the US, in Poland, in
Nikki,
America.
Good morning, Nikki.
Good morning, Nikki B. Good morning. We do appreciate you because you are part of the family. Those over 1,000 subscribers, they are not just in the Cayman Islands, they are all over the world. And we appreciate every single one of you. So of course, just a reminder, karaoke comes up, and you can just come on down to 69 West Bay Road and be a part of that.
Here's the rule for this one, ladies. When somebody put their ad on Flashpoint, they're not just getting it locally seen, they're getting it internationally seen. And so when people come to the island, they already know about you and they're going to be coming directly to your establishment. Yeah, why not? Here is where you need to have your products advertised or even looked at across the entire landscape of the world and in the Grand K as well. So please, guys, come on. Here is where you have a very good opportunity to showcase your talents and of course your business ideas that you have. All right.
Certainly. So on that note, I want to thank you so much for being a part of the breakfast hour this morning. We have learned about taking care of our health. Guys, please ensure that we drink enough water and listen to what's happening in our body. Let's pay attention. Let's walk right, exercise right, eat right. And of course, our devotional reminds us that, sometimes our relationship with others may seem like a roller coaster ride, ups and downs, persons experiencing difficult situations, bad decisions that they have made. But let us show love, let's support, let's pray for them and not abandon them. That's the message today. So let's show some love and care to each other.
We are processed to talk about that, Lady Elise, that there are what you call that those conspiracy theories and all those made up stories for 150 years or more. There's a particular set of persons who have been talking about one world order all the way, national Sunday law, all these things.
Oh yes. So we're going to talk about
We
that
want to
tomorrow.
talk about it
Mikey G.
tomorrow. We want to bring some information to you. And for those who were skeptical before and were saying, these idiots are so
Yeah.
foolish,
Yeah,
nonsensical, they make no sense. I was a little boy when I was growing up hearing these things. Tomorrow morning, we're going to expose you to a few bit of information that you may want to hear or even see right here on tomorrow's episode of The Breakfast Hour. Of course, thank you guys for joining this morning. Thank you, Dr. K, for coming on this morning. Give us so many health tips and advice for our betterment of our body. Hold on.
Yeah.
I wanted to say this one before we go, ladies. Before we just run out, ADHD. What? Don't. You know what ADHD? They are saying now. I said, when you train your children to be ill-mannered and disrespectful and out of order.
I'm sure we had a presentation on ADHD.
Right? When we teach our children how to be disrespectful, out of order, and you want to give them a pill to solve it, all they need was discipline. Come after. That's what the news was saying a while ago. It says classroom
That's
management.
what you heard.
No, hold on. No, it says classroom. I wrote it down. It says classroom management could assist in some of these, not taking too much of that pill and just make some of these children who are deemed ADHD benefit from not taking too much tablets and just behave themselves a little bit. I know it's a real thing, I know it's a real illness, but they say classroom management can also help. I think discipline at home too can. They say it's a disease. Sometimes it's just bad training. I see that's what's happening.
Sometimes it's just bad training.
Bad
Mikey
training.
G.
I mean, I understand there is that situation, but then for many of those who exhibited bad training, they got away with it too much, so they think they have assigned themselves the ADHD status and qualify themselves with their reckless and nasty behavior.
You know, Mikey G, before you go, there is just one more item that I need to share with the listeners this morning, and I'm going to share that one with you before we get out of studio. So getting it ready for you to see, and for you to also add it to your calendars. Even though we mentioned it, there is a visual presentation of what is coming up, and certainly I don't want you to miss out at all. Of course, part 2 of the story. Yes, the open portal this week features the youth of Flashpoint, and they're just sharing a few of their experiences, and still a part of the church, and they still love the church.
They talked a little bit about church hurt.
Yes, they have had some experiences that have affected them, and you can weigh in on the conversation.
Well, see, Mikey G, I have talked about my church hurt and how it affected me and what happened with some of the things that would have taken place when I was a youngster. And so just listening to these youngsters express themselves, you know, I believe that it is necessary to hear the thoughts that comes out.
Yeah,
and,
it's okay.
And sometimes you might say, what are you talking about? Trust me, listen, because we were once young, and sometimes we now get old and forget that we were.
Yes, and you know, the theme is healing. You know, it's not dwelling on church earth, not dwelling, but healing. And so certainly we do believe that, you know, even though things aren't perfect where we are certainly happy to be a part of a family, and the church family is what gives us some kind of hope sometimes when the world is such a dismal place. So, on that note, Mikey G, I want to wish all our listeners and viewers, those on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, a a wonderful day. May the Lord bless you abundantly, more than you can ever ask, think, or imagine.
Even imagine. All right, thank you, Lady Elise, for such a wonderful ending of the program. Of course, remember, guys, like, share, subscribe to Flashpoint Media, Flashpoint Radio, our YouTube channels, and of course, Facebook and Instagram. Remember, guys, our radio continues on www.flashpointmedia.ky. Hit the notification button, that little bell, that when these programs comes up, you'll get them first. Of course, today is a wonderful day. It's Wednesday, and it's Wellness Wednesday. He that has here, let him hear. Every single time the conversation ends, it ends with take better health choices, or make better health choices, like fresh air, sunlight, diet, exercise, and of course, drink some water, no man. Get some water in your system to hydrate so kidneys don't get failures. Of course, I have a friend who is actually having a situation with kidneys, and I'm praying every day that everything will be fine. He's going through some stuff, but trust me, I know that it will work out because the right approach is being applied. God bless each and every one of us today. I'm covering all the members, all the listeners, and all of viewers this morning. Even if you don't like us, God cover every person. Even those who like us, and I'm asking for covering for you even more. Not more, the same covering. Because the Bible says that all at the foot of the cross is level. Right there. While it might uneven everywhere else. So, thank you guys. Elise, I'm gonna go, man. I think it's enough. Yeah, I did it.
Yeah. It's hard to say goodbye.
It's not goodbye. Let me sing.
Radio, we're not saying bye. www.flashpointmedia.ky 24/7. We are here live. Just connect and be inspired. I wish you a wonderful day. And again, I say, may the Lord bless you abundantly, more than you can ever ask, think, or imagine. If you need to send us a message on WhatsApp, please go ahead and do so. It's 345-321-6969. And see you tomorrow, same time, same place.
And so I'm checking out my karaoke skills. I can say goodbye to you, no matter how I try. You're just a part of me. Alright, I'm done, guys. So karaoke on Saturday night. Come out. Flashpoint Radio, Flashpoint Media. Check us out. I'll be safe. A wonderful day. See you tomorrow.
Scott, and you're listening to Flashpoint Radio, Rise and Shine, your morning boost of inspiration, news, and fun, with Mikey G, Lady Elise, and CoraleeKaren, the unmistakable combination, synergized to navigate.
It's like we're running in circles, going around every day, getting stuck in the hurdles of yesterday. Don't you wanna go further, away from the fray? Let's not get stuck in our worries, we'll make our way. Won't Won't you come outside where the sunflowers bloom? Breathe in the air, look up to the moon. I'll meet you outside, away from the crowd. Just you and me together, and we'll all sing there outside. Just us in the sky. I will go wherever, I'll be yours forever. Are we part of this circus? Is it innate? Feels like a heavy burden, but I can't relate. Do our actions even matter? Or is this our fate? At least now I'm feeling better. I know I'm here to stay. Won't you come outside where the sunflowers bloom? Breathe in the air, look up to the moon. I'll meet you outside, away from the crowd. Just you and me together, and we'll all sing there outside. Just us in the sky. I will go wherever, I'll be yours forever.
Have yourself a flashpoint day. Start your breakfast the flashpoint way and cruise through lunch and then to dinner. With Flashpoint Radio. Flashpoint Radio is a class. Flashpoint Radio for gospel, inspiration, motivation, and meditation. Anywhere you go, take Flashpoint with you. Flashpoint Radio in a class by itself.
2 Corinthians 2:9 and 10.
No eye has seen, no ear has heard, no mind has conceived what God has prepared for those who love Him. But God has revealed it to us by His Spirit.
You're locked into the station that helps you tap into those incredible things that God is preparing for you.